All right, Arisha, we are back in action after a long Memorial Day weekend. How was your time off? Did you do anything fun?
Literally one of the worst weekends of my life, but
What?
we don't have to get it.
No, we do.
My friend died.
Oh, right, but nothing happened
And
to
then
you.
I watched
You're
a guy
lucky to be
almost
alive.
beat another guy to death. It was awful. It was like
What?
awful. It was an awful weekend. I know.
Oh, my God.
But I will say it wasn't long enough. Yesterday I was like, why do we only have 3-day weekends? It should be 4-day weekends every week.
Agree. So someone who had, I guess, not as bad of a weekend as you, if I'm being honest, is Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
She managed to do something a lot of us didn't think was possible. She got in trouble for having drugs in Amsterdam, of all places.
Yeah, someone was like, this is the equivalent of stealing a bottle of liquor at an open bar. It's like, yeah, what are you doing?
Well.
But yeah, this happened at the airport as she was heading to England to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the drama was caught on camera and posted by Nicki Minaj herself.
And bless her for that, honestly.
Yeah, straight from the horse's mouth. We never get that.
Exactly.
It's always other people talking. We're getting the actual story from the person it happened to.
Are getting it from us. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
But,
We're
whatever.
mouthpieces, and that's okay.
Yeah. From Wondery, I'm Brooke Ziffrin.
And I'm Arisha Skidmore-Williams. It's Tuesday, May 28th.
And you're listening to Rich and Daily. So these days, Nicki Minaj is putting the booked in busy. She is on the international leg of her Pink Friday 2 world tour. But on Saturday, her schedule took a little bit of a hit when Nicki was detained by Dutch authorities at Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam. Now, like we said, she was on her way to a gig in Manchester, England, when she was arrested for carrying soft drugs, which is just a term I think is so funny.
They're so
It's
soft and cushy.
They're soft, yeah. So if you follow Nicki on social media, you got to see all of this play out in real time because she went live on Instagram during her exchange with the Dutch authorities.
Yeah, I can't recommend this enough. Go live. Go live whenever anything's happening.
Absolutely.
Just go live. So according to Nicki, she was flagged by authorities for a random quick check of her bags, during which they found a couple of pre-rolled joints. And in the live stream, Nicki kept saying that her bags were taken without her permission. And she said that the bag they found the joints in belonged to one of her security guards and that this security guard admitted it was his. That security guard better get a nice little holiday bonus, let me tell you.
I know. Also, you don't have to give permission for your bags to get taken at the airport. Like, that's kind of part of it, isn't it?
I think so. At least
they're
in
not
this
like,
state
hey,
of
can
country,
we look
I
for
assume it's the
drugs?
same.
And you're like, no. And they're like, okay, fine,
No.
have a good trip.
What about weapons? No,
sorry.
you can't.
Yeah.
So in the video, the Dutch officers repeatedly ask Nicki to get into a vehicle to take her to a station, but she keeps pressing them for more information.
What am I doing? I never gave anyone my, I never, so I'm under arrest.
Yes.
But
Yes.
under arrest for what?
Okay. Stop filming now.
I'm under arrest for what?
Okay.
Do you
Stop
know what
filming
happened
now.
when I came
You
here?
have to go inside.
Something about stop filming now is so funny. I don't know. Just stop filming now.
Do they don't have, because like the cops here in the United States, they all have body cams, but I don't know if they have them in Amsterdam.
I have no idea. I don't know.
They're like, we got the footage. You don't need it. We don't need 2 cameras on this. We're good.
Yeah.
But during the live stream, Nicki continually asked for a lawyer before eventually complying with the officers and getting into the vehicle. Once she was in the car, she was told they'd have to search all of her bags thoroughly. And when Nicki asked why, a member of the Dutch authorities told her that since she filmed them, they suspected she had more drugs than she was letting on.
That doesn't make sense. Like,
I think it's more that if you find some drugs, that's
Right.
enough. At least in this country, I don't know that's the thing is, I don't know what the laws are over there, but in this country, if you find even a little bit of drugs, that's probable cause you get to look for
Exactly.
anything.
that makes sense. Not like, well, you're filming
If
us.
it was
so
filming, then
what?
poor Steven Spielberg would constantly be getting searched. He's a filmmaker.
Yes, that is the clear example we should have used.
Nailed it.
Now, Richies, if you are wondering why Nicki was arrested for weed in Amsterdam, of all places, where it is legal to buy and use it, it's because she was leaving the country. So she was suspected of exporting drugs, not just possessing them, which makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily for Nicki, she was released later that same day, and she was just given a fine Dutch authorities shared a statement on X that said, "We have just released a 41-year-old American woman who we arrested this afternoon at Schiphol on suspicion of exporting soft drugs. After consultation with the Public Prosecution Service, the suspect was fined and can continue her journey."
Why is it so funny to describe somebody as their age and country where they're from?
I don't know.
That seems insane to me.
It is really funny. I think it's funnier because it's Nicki Minaj and like we all know who she is, but they're like some 41-year-old American woman. Like that's who she is to them. So it's just funny.
Which honestly, that's who all Americans are to other people in the world, I think.
I know.
Some 30-year-old American woman. Don't shut up. And they were talking about Taylor Swift. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't come for me, Swifties. But it's just like, it's funny to qualify people that are like really famous by just their age, which we all have as an age. Mm-hmm. So according to BBC News, Nicki was fined €300 or $326. That is the lowest fine ever.
Yeah. Especially for Nicki Minaj.
Obviously one. But I'm like, this is literally, I mean.
So you're saying like the two lowest are 326 and 1?
Yes. Nothing else. Those are the two lowest fines you can get. So while this whole thing only amounted to a small fine, the delay that was caused by their arrest did mean that Nicki had to cancel one of her Manchester shows. Yeah. And while she was being detained on Saturday, she tweeted that Dutch authorities had been paid big money to try to sabotage her tour because people are mad her tour is so successful.
What?
Which just,
that doesn't make any sense.
I'm here sometimes. Sometimes I tolerate conspiracy theories, but other times it's just like, this is the most ridiculous one. That's
especially
like,
because why wouldn't they be doing that to Taylor Swift then? Who's like boosting economies? You would want that.
Well, she's probably going to be like, because she's probably going to say the race thing. It's like, it's because I'm a black successful woman. They don't want to see me up. And it's like, I don't think that's it. I think they don't want you taking drugs out of their country, aka following the law. They'd like for you to follow the law. That's what this is about.
But it's like, who would have been like, I gotta sabotage this tour? Megan Thee Stallion? Because of their beef?
No, those Dutch police. Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion has them in her back pocket. She's always heading over there.
Yeah.
So now Nicki did not elaborate on who she thought paid them. I will say Nicki's notorious for just kind of saying stuff.
Yeah.
Just saying anything. And obviously, there's no proof that we've seen that there's anything to her claims of sabotage. Yeah. This seems like a very poorly executed sabotage, like one show and a $300 fine. If they're really trying to just ruin you, I don't think they would have stopped there.
Is there a rival of Manchester? They're the ones that did it. They're like, I'm sorry, but the Manchester economy will not be boosted by more than one show. So
yeah, probably. Yeah, Liverpool. I think that maybe them. Our Brit Richies will chime in, I'm sure. So fortunately for fans who had tickets to the canceled Manchester show, they won't have to wait long for a rain check. It's been rescheduled for June 3rd. Honestly, she gets to stay in Europe longer. What a dream.
Yeah, true. Unless she's leaving and coming back, but that would be exhausting. So
great for the environment.
Yeah. After she was released from police custody in the Netherlands, Nicki did eventually make it to Manchester. And outside of her hotel, she spoke to a crowd of fans and apologized for the canceled show.
Yeah, so of course, everyone's got cameras. And in some of the footage that was captured on someone's phone, Nicki is heard telling the crowd, "I love you and I'm so sorry this happened tonight." And then later, she posted on X and thanked everyone who prayed for her. And she said, "May God cover you and all that is connected to you. May you be blessed beyond your imagination."
Is she Walt Disney or a rapper? So
two things, both at the same time.
Yeah. So Marisha, Nicki got in a little trouble over the holiday weekend. What do you think about all this? Do you actually think it was the security guard's weed?
I think it was probably like communal weed. I would imagine like when you're traveling with your team, I mean, it's probably all technically Nicki's. Like I'm sure she's the one fronting the bill for all this weed.
Yeah.
And not footing the bill for all this weed. And I feel like she was like, we've all smoked it, so it's theirs, not mine.
Right.
But she like posted something that was like, I have so much footage you guys haven't even seen yet, but it's in God and the lawyer's hands
it's
now.
It's a lawyer in the God's hands.
What else is there to the story?
I know.
Like this is my thing, is like, even if you don't agree with the laws of the country you're going to, then don't go to the country. Like, we need to respect other people's cultures, other people's laws. And it's like, and I'm not saying that I agree with all of the laws that exist, but it's just, I think it's such like a hubris thing. And I see it so much in my travel group in American Travelers, where they're like, well, why can't I do this? Or I don't want to have to like cover up my body because I'm a woman in this country where women have to do that. And it's like, then don't go to the country. Like, it's just because you can do it in your country doesn't mean that it gets done in other countries, and there are consequences. And it's just, I hate when people just think that they own the world because they're from America. I hate it.
Right. I mean, it's very possible they bought that weed in Amsterdam and then were like, oh shit, we forgot.
But I'm like, Nicki, I would be somebody that would do that because it's like, I just spent all this money. But
I know, we
Nicki,
did that in Canada.
You can just buy more.
I had to leave weed with Liam, and that tore me up inside because I can't bring it back here.
I know. It's just, it's criminal. We can't cross country lines with drugs, but that's them's the breaks.
That's when you
and
want
we follow
to.
it. We're good citizens.
Yeah, there has been an uptick of
And
Americans like bringing guns into like Turks and Caicos and shit. And it's like, stop doing that, you idiots.
Why are you going
Like,
to Turks and Caicos with a gun?
Quintessential American thing to do.
I know.
Get in trouble
You're supposed
for
to be
guns.
on the beach, getting that vitamin D, maybe some other kind of D, but you don't need a gun. Like, what are you going to do? Shoot at the waves?
Yeah.
Idiots.
Shoot at that fucking seaweed. Get off the beach.
Yeah, that's effective.
That shit's annoying. But seriously,
okay, that's
stop.
the only time it's okay.
Okay, good. From Wondery, I'm Brooke Sifrin.
And I'm Arisha Skidmore-Williams. This is Rich and Daily.
See you tomorrow, Richies. If you like our show, please follow us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you're listening right now.
Be sure to follow us on all socials at Arisha Skidmore-Williams and at Brooke Sifrin. We love to connect with you.